Welcome to the talk show Promising Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement. Viewers, we know very well that Bangladesh is now passing through a very critical phase of political landscapes, and all the political parties excepting BNP and its alliance are taking part in the elections, and still there are so many rumors and chaos whether elections will be there in a free and peaceful manner. And by this time, 14-party alliance of Awami League, there is divergent opinions prevailing there. At the same time, Jatiyo Party itself declared that they are thinking otherwise. And what will happen, we don't know. And to suit the very purposes, we have invited two very important guests. One is Mr. Kabir Ashraf, former Additional Secretary and Adjunct Faculty, Department of Political Science and Sociology, North South University. Dr. Kabir, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, other being Dr. A.R. Khan. He is the chairman of Federal Democratic Party.
Yes.
Then how are you, Mr. Khan?
Yes, doing good, not bad.
Thank you very much. Dr. Kabir,
Yes.
you are basically a bureaucrat at the same time, now an educationist.
Yes.
You know very well that election is knocking at the door. It is going to take place on January 7, 2024. And this is a phase. This phase is very important because negotiations are on whether they will be in the election or not. Withdrawal of the election up to 17th of this month. And so many things are happening there. What is your understanding about the whole thing?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me here. And the issue you have raised is also very important, contemporary. Seeing all these exercises by the different political parties who are in favor of holding the election, I feel a little bit amused because I have a deep sense of melancholy. Why? You know the very common saying, staging Hamlet without the Prince of Denmark. So here I feel that a very important show is being staged today without the presence of who is the Prince of Denmark. It's the people. I don't feel that people are actively and enthusiastically involved in the process. People in the general sense of the term, all the people. Election days are normally very festive day in our country. I have started my career from the grassroots level at the Assistant Commissioner level, and I have found that elections are special days, auspicious and festive days for all the people, especially for women. Nowadays, it has become just opposite. People are becoming apprehensive. People are becoming very much apathetic, and at the same time, they are becoming nonchalant to all the process. I can see the government exercise, the ruling party exercise, other exercises. Okay, it's fine. The game is on. But a game which is incomplete, where all the major participants are absent and where especially the very strategic partners are missing, I don't think it's a very good game. And as a watcher, as a viewer, or as a silent onlooker, I don't find any kind of warmth or any kind of vibe in the whole process. I'm just helplessly looking at the process, standing aside.
Thank you very much. He is helplessly standing, looking at the side. Dr. A.R. Khan, you are the chairman of a political party. What is your realization?
Okay, well, being a political leader or being a chairman of the Federal Democratic Party, as I understand that actually right now I cannot say that actually election is going to be held, because I can say there is a selection process. I cannot say that this is an election, is going to be a selection, because you see the 29 political parties, they are going to participate or attend the national upcoming elections out of 44. So if you count on them, you will find maximum 2 or 3 political parties, so they are involved in strongly involved in politics. But out of them, I will say they are just signboard oriented or name oriented political parties, even though we didn't heard the name before. So even the latest scenario that we have seen a couple of days back, that we have seen that couple of political parties, those are those are in the political field for a long time, and trying to get the registration from the election commission. But unfortunately, they didn't get the registration. But 2-3 parties, we never heard the name. For example, if I say that Bangladesh Jatiyotawadi Andolon, and another one is Trinamool BNP. So how, I don't understand that how they got registration from the election commission. So this is very much pathetic. So that is why I will say that this is going to be an election, not election, is a selection process. Another thing is that if you actually know that actually who will be your next prime minister, if you know that who will be, the member of parliament, so without any competition, so who is their competitor? I just want to know that, okay, can you say me that, okay, these are the parties, they are going to compete with Awami League or the ruling party right now. So that's why I will feel that actually I will say this is kind of drama is going to be held. Because
and thank you very much. This is the kind of drama going to take place. Dr. Kabir, is it drama at all?
Yes, it is. It's a big drama. And the very pathetic part of the drama is that the actors who are acting in that drama, all of them know it. And they are posing, they are pretending as if some serious business is going on. It's not. It's not. All of them know that whatever they are saying to the people, to the press, a substantive part of that saying is not true. You are lying to the people is the most abject form of crime. And we are doing that. So you say, this is a drama. Of course it is. Take it as a drama. Then you will find some meaning in that process. You will find some sense in that process. If you think it's the real life practice, everybody will be gloomy, everybody will be very sad, and things will be very negative for all of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kabir Ashraf. Dr. A.R. Khan, do you find any light here?
In terms of what?
In terms of election going to take place.
Yes, I strongly believe that the ruling government, the ruling party, definitely they will go for election without any anything else. By hook or by crook, they will go for election. Nobody can stop that, because last 15 years, they proved themselves that okay, they could do it. Doesn't matter how, but they will do it. Because if I talk about the 4 pillars of the democracy or democratic process or
do you think that Awami League is a Himalaya?
Not like that.
Then how can you say that we cannot stop it? We cannot face it?
Okay, because they proved themselves that, okay, let me give you some examples. Last 15 years almost, if I give you the statistics of the opposition party like Bangladesh Nationalist Party, BNP, so they filed almost 118,000 cases against them. Then total number of accused, then almost 40 lakhs. So you see, last 15 years, all the political leaders belongs to Bangladesh Nationalist Party, they are away from home. They are staying on paddy field, they are staying on various places. So how you believe that, so that people will come again to protest the government, even though 45 district BNP office already closed, even the main political party office of BNP already locked. So they are not allowing anybody to go for protest or any sort of movement. So that is why I think now only hope that is people can take the responsibilities. Okay, what's going on? It's a completely drama. It's not a drama. I think they should stop it because it's a waste of money. As far as I understand, almost 2,000 crore taka is required for organizing a national election. So it's a completely waste of money, waste of time, waste of energy, and is a completely, going to place a drama with the people. So people should take, okay, no, we are not going to cast my vote on upcoming election. So this is the only way to stop this election. Otherwise, I think it will be not possible, because if you see all over the world, the 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 government all over. I'm not saying that anyone all over the world. So they did like this by hook or by crook. They will organize or they will go for the election. That's my opinion.
Thank you very much, Dr. A.R. Khan. Dr. Kabir Ashraf,
Yes.
do you think people, who is the most vital center of the election, are those people are sleeping now?
Okay, I don't think they're sleeping. They are having disturbed sleep. They are not sleeping peacefully if even they're sleeping. Because the country is actually the people's country.
No, but they are not protesting. They are not protesting. They are silent.
No, they are silent because, if you are democratic, if you have that spirit in your heart, the silence can also be a big protest. Democracy doesn't mean that you will have to be very violent, you will have to come onto the street, you will have to be very much agitational everywhere. If people boycott something, that has a message. If people don't participate in some forum, that has a message. You have to have the maturity to understand that message. If people are very much silent, they are not protesting against anything, it may have two causes. One is they are fearful to do anything. Number two, they are also siding with some issue, either this or that. So people are sleeping in that sense. Okay, they are seemingly inactive, but people have always been very inactive until and unless there is a trigger. There is some leadership, there are some people who will wake them up. So we'll have to wait for that waking up process. Okay, that's why people are never consulted. That's the problem. What is democracy? Democracy is the supremacy of the popular will. They are absent. You are saying they are sleeping. Okay, in a sense, if you want to be metaphorical, yes, they are sleeping. But sleeping means they are just waiting also. Sometimes this sleep will be just broken. We don't know when it will happen.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Kabir Ashraf. Viewers, we are going for a short break. Please keep watching. Well, viewers, we are back to the talk show again, sponsored by Crown Cement. We are having talks with two giant speakers, and they're very much aware of the situation taking place in Bangladesh. And now I am going to Dr. A.R. Khan, Chairman of Federal Democratic Party. Mr. A.R. Khan, recently we are listening to some concepts very well. One is King's Party and Demi's candidates. How do you analyze this in the present context?
Well, I think the whole world, even the whole nation also, they will be introduced with new terminology, that is dummy. So dummy candidate, dummy election. So the election which is going to be held on 7th January 2024, so you can say that that is a dummy election, because all over all the constitutional posts, the people, those are the political leaders, those are fighting, they will be fighting for each other. So Awami League candidate versus dummy Awami League candidate versus independent Awami League candidate versus rebel Awami League. So this is the first time is going to be happen all over the world, that is dummy election. So this is I think new terminology, is a new invention of electoral process all over the world. And second thing is that King Party, as I mentioned earlier, that two party already born, their newborn baby. We never heard about that when they conceive baby or when they delivered it, but they already delivered, but without any marriage or marriage ceremony or anything else. Just they delivered. They already born. That is, one is Trinamool BNP and another one is Bangladesh Jatiyotawadi Andolon, BNM. So these are the actually King's Party. They created, they born because to help the government. So all the political leaders, I don't know how they joined there, but maybe they have been forced by someone. Otherwise, I don't understand why the Major General Ibrahim he shouldn't be with that political, in this situation. But however, he already joined to the ruling party. The Vice President of Bangladesh Awami League, Barrister Shahjahan Umar. So suddenly with that BNP. So he already joined with the ruling party. This is miracle that all of them, the 24th November most probably, all of them they applied for bail. So as far as I know that Mirza Abbas, then Muazzam Hussain Halal, then our ex Home Minister Yarbas Marshal Altaf Chowdhury, and also the Barrister Shahjahan Umar. But only one person, that is Barrister Shahjahan Umar, he got bail, and within 3 hours the bail bond already sent to the jail custody so that he can free, and he joined the ruling party and get the nomination from Awami League. So that's why this is the reason that I think that these are the people actually, those are working for a ruling party, working for the government, or work to showing themselves that the ruling party is not only the party that which is participating in the upcoming election, we are also in the race.
Thank you. We are also in the race. Dr. Kabir, Ashraf, do you feel that they are working under the pressure of the government, or they have their own interests?
Well, I'll choose for another word, not under the pressure of the government. They are working under the pleasure of the government. Because if you call them King's Party, or if you call them dummy candidate, so the names are expressive enough. What's in a name? A rose is a rose. A dummy party or a King's Party, they are evidently will from the same party, from the same political authority. They don't have any new identity. They are the creation of the ruling party, creation of the party in power to play the second fiddle, just to give tune to the song already being sung by the government. So these parties have always been there in one form or another. Dummy candidates were there even 30 years back, but those were actually just there to make sure that if the genuine candidate somehow misses the nomination, scrutinization process, then he or she will be there. But now we have dummy candidates which are totally different. This actually reminds me of a comedy of history. So people are actually getting some pleasure from all these histrionic performances. I think it's good for them. They are getting some sort of relief by seeing all these things. Today I am accusing you for something, tomorrow I am doing the same thing, and I am oblivious, forgetful that we have done the same thing yesterday, and we don't have any trust or confidence in the memory of the people. That's another downside.
Well,
about
Dr. Ashraf, thank you very much. Dr. Yar Khan, recently the Awami League leaders, they're beating the drum, making it clear to all. Dummy candidates should be in the race to make sure that more and more voters are in the center. But they are not for contesting the election. Otherwise, they will just support the nominee of Awami League. It is a double standard, and I can understand what it is. What is your explanation, please?
No, I totally agree with you. This is a double standard. Actually, if you look through the statement of the ruling party, especially the Secretary General of Bangladesh Awami League, he already mentioned that nobody will be allowed to participate in election as a rival candidate. So he should support the elected candidate from the political parties as a support him, or to make it clear to the ordinary people that election is going to be held. But if you see the statement of the Prime Minister, even the President of the Bangladesh Awami League, she mentioned on her speech that she said, you cannot elect without any competition, because that means she cleared that she knows that there is no political parties are taking or going to attend the election. That is very much clear. And she said, if you elect yourself without any competition, so you will be charged. So what you have to do, you have to select a dummy candidate, or you have to select any independent candidate, or anything else. But you have to prove yourself that, okay, you had a wonderful elections there. Doesn't matter is a Awami League versus Awami League versus dummy Awami League, but you have to prove yourself that there was election there and you own the race. So that means
isn't it also to make sure that attendance during the election day should be maximum?
Nobody will go. You cannot say.
Is the dummy candidate one of the attempts to make sure that people attend the election?
Actually, nobody will go to cast their vote because there is no opposition. If you do not know that whom you are playing with, then can you say that this is a competition there? So there is no actually you are fighting with whom, because there is no competitor. If you cannot play with your, the Ubaidul Qadir said, let's play. So you are going to play within yourself. You are playing with your own people. So now what happened, they are fighting each other. They are fighting each other because nobody wants to lose their identity. I want to be a member of parliament. He wants to be a parliament. So that's why now they are fighting each other to prove that he is the best. And the massacre is going on in all over the country, all over the constitutional areas. That means it's a complete drama with the nation. So that is why I will not agree that actually election, this is I think second time I am going to utter this terminology, that election is not going to take place. It is a selection process because there is no democracy in our country, because I didn't find any democratic way in our country, because according to electoral process, there should be a candidate, there should be opposition. I don't know actually who is my opposition, with whom I am competing. So is a completely, I think, is a cheating with the people.
There is a big crisis here because one of the president members, Mr. Abdur Rahman, I saw in the newspaper today, he categorically asserted dummy candidate will not be allowed to contest meaningfully in the election, and they will otherwise support the nominee of the Awami League. What does it mean? You have so many dummy candidates from different angles that they are not allowed to contest meaningfully, just to bring the voters at the electoral center and show the world the election is fair.
It is fair.
How can it be possible in reality?
No, I already mentioned earlier that it is a completely cheating with the people actually. Actually, it's a completely cheating with the people. So I think this is a totally undemocratic process, because according to democracy, there should be political parties. Especially if you see the BNP, they already ruled the nation for 4 times. So without Bangladesh Nationalist Party, you cannot think the national election will be held. Nobody will go to cast their vote. Maybe some people, those are strongly involved in Awami politics, maybe they will go, as you mentioned, that some dummy candidates or some independent candidates or Awami League candidates, maybe they will go door to door to beg some votes. But I think nobody will go to cast their vote, because no election is going to take place, because without any opposition, even though you can say, okay, fine, 29 parties are participating, but where is the party? Jatiya Party, they are bargaining for 36 constitutional posts.
I'll come to this point.
Okay.
Dr. Ashraf, once upon a time in your career, you were a DC. It means you are presiding officer also.
Yes.
So if 2 or 3 dummy candidates, they are so popular, they are going to be elected democratically. But as per instruction from the headquarters, whatever the popularity you have does not matter. Our nominee shall win, you will be the silent spectator. What the role of the presiding officer there?
Presiding officer, doesn't have anything to do there. Presiding officers these days have become actually the agents of the government. They cannot go beyond the wish of the government. You mentioned that I was deputy commissioner, so I was also returning officer. Not only that, I was also presiding officer, I was also assistant returning officer, I was a voter, everything. So I was also a magistrate, keeping peace during election time. So I know presiding officers only can follow the order of the returning officer. They cannot go beyond their behests. It's impossible. So whatever is the arrangement of candidates, dummy candidate or whatever you call them, they'll have to be satisfied with what is proclaimed at the end of the day from the returning officer's office. That is their fate. But well, there can be some recipe for disaster for the party itself, because if the party member is so powerful that he can deny the overture from the center, then he can go for the election with all his personal capability and personal vigor. That's possible, and that can actually lead to some sort of very bitter enmity within that area, which can be permanent sometimes, which can be at least if not permanent, very long standing, and some of the candidates can also muster some voters which who can have impact on the result of the vote. But well, at the end of the day, it's the presiding officer. If you get more vote, if you get lot of voter attendance, what does it mean? You cannot do anything. Returning officers are the final decider. If they think that these people will win, they'll win at the end of the day. And presiding officers cannot go beyond their decision.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Presiding and returning officer cannot go beyond the decision, and it is imposed from above.
Yeah.
Well, viewers, we're going for a short break. We'll come to you again very soon. Please keep watching. Viewers, we are back to the talk show Promising Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement. We are having talks with two very, very important talkers, and they understand what is happening in Bangladesh at this very moment. Well, Dr. A.R. Khan, if Jatiyo Party finally take decision not to go in the race, because there is a possibility, because we know very well the 14-party alliance led by Awami League, they are trying to have the same symbol of vote.
Yes.
They have no courage, no base, nothing else they have.
Else.
If they fight on their own tickets, they'll be lost finally.
Exactly.
So they are very much frightened. And they surrounded the Prime Minister also. They met with the Prime Minister and requested her to bless them. I said that bless them. For her blessing, they are very busy. At this circumstance and under these circumstances, Jatiyo Party is only hope, because it is supposed to be the main opposition in Parliament, 12th Parliament. And even there is rumor, the Jatiyo Party is trying to have the same vote as a symbol, because if there is free and fair election under these circumstances, hardly there will be 10 to 20 seats for Jatiyo Party. That may not be. So, out of all these things, do you think Jatiyo Party finally quit the picture?
No, I don't think so, because Jatiyo Party is Jatiyo Party becomes a domestic political party of Bangladesh Awami League. So they are bargaining for 40 seats or 50 seats, or as I have information till today, maybe the ruling party already offered them 36 seats. So they are bargaining, still they are bargaining for the finalizing the seats. So 36, they are asking for 50. So another 40 alliance, they are fighting for, they are asking some around 15 or 20 seats, but the ruling party, they offered them 6 seats. So these are the actually present scenario right now. So actually they don't have right after, especially the 11th election of our country. So both of the party, like 14 party alliance and the Jatiyo Party, they lost their identity actually. Now they becomes a domestic political party of Bangladesh Awami League, as I mentioned you earlier. So they are not going to people right now, but better they feel that okay, better go to the ruling party to take some seats, so that without any problem, without any investment or anything else, I can win the race. So that's why I think they will never quit. But moreover, they are trying to get some more seats so that they can prove to the world that okay, we are the opposition leader, like that. So I don't think that Jatiya Party will quit because they don't have that much strength right now to fight against Awami League.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Kabir Ashraf,
Yes.
Jatiya Party is not in a position to quit the race because they have number of problems. And if Jatiya Party is in a position to have understanding with the Prime Minister, forming an alliance with the Prime Minister, now all the political parties, including Jatiya Party, are under the very feet of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, I use the term. They seek the blessings. If it is so, how can it be election free, fair, competitive and participatory?
Well, the election can be free, of course, in a sense. It's free from every kind of electoral paraphernalia. No, tension, nothing in that sense. It can be fair in that sense. The process is followed because our election commission and our party in power, they are very much formal. They want to follow the procedure. They give more importance on the process. If the process is done, hang with the people. So the process is okay, our election is okay. That's the democracy of their version. That's their purpose.
But one thing I just have to add you that the Jatiya Party is they are destroying the political democratic process of our country. Because you see every year the election comes, Jatiya Party playing the vital role that either election will be held or not. I agreed with Mr. Sinha that without Jatiya Party it could be very difficult to arrange a election, because since Jatiya Party is there, because they were in power, because they ruled the nation for 9 years. So all over the world know about the party, that is Jatiya Party. Doesn't matter that we are saying that this is a party that they don't have any identity or they are a domestic political party of Awami League, but rest of the world know that Jatiya Party was ruled the nation for 9 years. So that's why they are playing a vital role. But if they, I will say just they are just destroying our democratic process in our country.
Of course, because it's very dangerous if you actually are dealing with the group of people who are not the highest authority. They are just henchmen of the highest authority. We are probably more damaged by the people of the Greater Bengal who are actually doing sort of, what can I say, the role of a henchman of the British, not the British themselves. So Jatiya Party is doing more harm because the other political parties, they at least have some political philosophy. They at least, right or wrong, they can fight for their political philosophy. Have you ever seen any real meeting or any real procession or
nothing.
real political gathering of Jatiya Party during the last 20 years?
No.
Then why should we call it a party? It's not a party, it's a group of people who are out for changing their fortune, okay, or maybe trying to keep whatever already they have.
Well, I draw your attention, whether it is a party or not, that is immaterial. But one thing is very clear from the real political landscape. Jatiya Party is a deciding factor whether it will go to power or not, whether election or not.
Exactly.
Then it is almost a darling child in the politics of Bangladesh. Whatever it is, bad or wrong, immaterial. Jatiya Party proved its standing as a darling child. If you go with the government, it is a factor mixed with the opposition factor. Why does it happen?
No, it's because the party is expected to play that role. That's why, in a fair democratic situation, these parties will vanish in the thin air, because they probably have some 10 to 15 seats where they can really compete with the other parties. Everything is different now. It's not the Jatiya Party of Hussain Muhammad Ershad. Ershad, you like him or not, he had a very strong party. And the legacy of Ershad, of course, it still lingers, but the party is no more there. Even if you say that this is the party, the ruling authority says that this is the party, they say, okay, we are the party. And next morning it says, okay, this is not the party, you are the party. They said, okay, we are the party. So whatever the formation of their party or what they will do, everything is being decided by the ruling authority. It's because they are nurtured like that, because they also need some I mean, as he said, domestic political party. Other
In that case, how do you assess the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina? Because she is in a position to bring all everybody under his fold, whether right or wrong, immaterial. She is in a position to dominate them, command them. This is a unique situation in Bangladesh.
Of course.
How can you judge Sheikh Hasina?
Well, that's a very, very tricky question, because the capability of the Prime Minister must be admired. Whether, as you have said, you like it or not, that's a different question. Whether she is doing good or bad, that's a different question. Whether she is doing politically good things or bad things, of course, those are completely apart. But the way she is, controlling the ship, one must have to admit that she is a very capable captain who can actually, lead the ship out of very high storms and just dock it in a port.
She is a very capable captain. Dr. A.R. Khan, you're also a political leader. How do you judge another political leader? Please, you may be in course of time in that position. Well,
no, I will bit differ with him, because I don't think that she is doing fantastic as a captain, because she failed to control a lot of things. She failed to control the market system in our country. She failed to control the commodity prices. She failed to control unemployment rate. She failed to control the child labor problems in our country. She failed to control, the child marriage in our country. So there's a lot of, segments are there. She completely failed. She failed to prove that democracy is practiced in our country. I didn't find any democracy in our country. I find that is a political revenge, is a politics of violence, a politics of clash, and politics of revenge. So there is no democratic process. She failed to implement. She failed to introduce the total democratic system in our country, that election is going to be held, that is participatory, inclusive, all political parties and other things.
For Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, any plus points? Having all these negative points in hands, what are the plus points? If
you say some development occurred, definitely I will say that she introduced our metro system in our country. She introduced full-lane connectivity. Then she introduced the tunnel. So development process, development is a continuous process. If you compare with the regime of the Ayub Khan, so a lot of development occurred at that time also. So even though we are sitting right now in Gulshan, so that is this area also developed by Ayub Khan. So development is a continuous process. So she did a lot of development works. But actually, we are fighting for freedom. We are fighting from democracy. We are fighting from justice. We are fighting for, the people rights, the voting rights, and the electoral process. She failed all those things to prove that she is a good captain of the ship to organize a international standard election procedures in our country.
So she somehow managed the ship. Though it's a pirate ship, maybe from many people's viewpoint,
no,
the ship is not out for something good.
You can say that she's the captain of the pirate ship, because this is not the democratic process that you will. If I say something against the government, if I say something against your work, so I will be in custody. I will be in jail.
Yeah.
So you'll file a case against me.
Well, Dr. A.R. Khan, thank you very much, because we are about to end this session, and thank you very much also, Dr. Kabir Ashraf.
Thank you.
That we are about to end the session, and before ending the session, I have to summarize all these things in a short note. Well, viewers, both of the speakers spoke very well, and they are very high of Bangladesh in future perspective. And today they are very much worried what is going to take place here, and they are talking about democracy, human rights, and the elections going to take place. Even they are very much worried about the birth and working of the King's Party, about the genesis and spread of so-called demi candidates. And all these things taken together, Bangladesh is moving towards a very chaotic situation. One may consider is that we are moving towards a chaotic situation, And although some people still believe no disturbance will be there, nothing will be there, it is their belief. But reality speaks otherwise. If the election is so that all the dummy candidates are, to some extent or more or less, are instructed not to fight in the final race and control themselves as per instruction, in that case, dummy candidates are not the dummy candidates at all. Dummy means you must have to be in the race to some extent. If you support the main candidate properly without your participation, that is another debacle. An election commission must have to take into account all these things. And I believe the election commission is very much aware of all these things, and election commission also knows it very well that what the role returning officer, period officers can play in Bangladesh under the present circumstances. And above all, both of them are of the same understanding. Jatiyo Party is playing in a very negative mood and mode, and it stands against the hopes and aspirations of the people in Bangladesh. Right and wrong, it is up to you. And my duty is to pass all these things to you. And thank you very much. We'll meet you very, very soon. Thank you.